What is up, everybody? This is All Things Entertaining here, bringing you with a brand new video, and today we have Dogmatika Synchro Eldlich deck profile. Actually, I've been kind of playing with this deck for a little bit, and I must say it's kind of fun to play, to be perfectly honest with you, even though the price tag is absurdly high. But if you're playing on online servers like EDO Pro or Dueling Book, the price doesn't really make a difference. I mean, you should definitely try this deck out, even if you don't intend on buying the deck physically. I think the deck is quite honestly pretty interesting. It's pretty fun, and what it can do is kind of simplistic to newer players who want to get into competitive scene, not necessarily for the price range, but the deck overall is fairly straightforward and easy to get to play and get into for newer players who are trying to make that transition and just want to, see what the deck is all about. So I'm going to be doing a combo tutorial after the deck profile, and I will explain some of my choices as to why I'm playing the rages that I am. I think it's fairly straightforward for some of them, but it might be a little bit more questionable depending on how you think about it. So let's just jump right into the deck profile. So we got the one Sideframe driver because we're playing the Sideframe Gamma package, which is currently kind of the best hand trap in the game at the moment, next to Ash Blossom. The reason why this card is really good is because it stops like Numeron, it stops the mirror, it stops stuff like Invoked from popping off and all that sort of thing. It's pretty good. I think even if there are budget options for Sideframe Gear Gamma now that you might as well be playing Sideframe Gear Gamma in your main decks at all costs. So whether you can get the rares from Toon Chaos, I think it's Toon Chaos, or you get the super rares, or you just have ultras, or even the collector's rares from Toon Chaos. There's really no excuse for someone to not play Sideframe Gamma in this format now. It's super good. It combos off a lot with some of the other cards if you really need to, and it's just overall a fantastic hand trap. We're playing two Eldritch the Golden Lord. Golden Lord is pretty good. For what it is, it's a very simple card. It just sends cards to the graveyard, and then it like special summons a zombie and then boosts its attack by 1,000 until the end of your opponent's turn. It's basically what it does, and it's simple. It's super effective at what it does too. The only reason why you're playing two, the only reason I'm playing two is because I think it's a little bit bricky at 3. It's actually a little bit bricky at 2, but I want to I want to see it sometimes, but not all the time. 2 Maximus. For those of you who have not seen any of these cards, this card is pretty insane. Actually, during your main phase, if a monster is special summon from the extra deck is on the field, you can special summon this card, and then if you control the Dogmatika card, you negate a monster. You can negate a monster on the field until the end of the turn. It's pretty good disruption. Also, when a Dogmatika declares an attack, you can just boost them all by 500. So it's pretty good for swinging some games and some matchups in your favor. Dogmatika Dragma. This one's actually not a very popular choice in the Eldritch, but I decided I wanted to test it out to see what it is. So it's kind of, I just want to see what it does. I mean, it's just something that I've been testing around with. It sends 2 extra deck monsters from your opponent's graveyard, so that can't be too bad, right? Also, it synergizes well with the rest of the fusions in the lineup as well. Because once you're done with your synchro plays and stuff like that, you pretty much just only have a few cards left in your extra deck. So, I mean, and those cards you probably aren't summoning anyway, so it's pretty good there. Zephyros the Elite, another card that I'm also sort of testing out. I'm not sure. I'm not really sold on this card yet, so don't take this with a grain of salt. If it does pop up, it does pop up. But if it doesn't, I'm not really worried about it. Just an extender. Simple as that. 2, Ecclesia. If Zephyros doesn't work out, I'm moving Ecclesia back to 3. But yeah, this card's actually pretty good. It special summons itself if you have a monster from the extra deck, and then it searches a Dogmatika card, which is going to be mostly Fleur-de-Lis or the Trap card right here, which you're only playing one of. 2, Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is, like I said, pretty good. I don't really need to explain anything more about it. 2, Make a Phantom Beast O-Line. The reason why I'm only playing 2 is because you realistically only need 2. You really don't want to play 3 because you really don't want to see them all that much. You kind of want to summon them from the deck. you kind of want to just finagle them. You kind of want to work your way around them, and you don't really want to open them, because if you open them, you're kind of a little sad, in my opinion. But you know, it is what it is. If you summon this card, you can start your plays off, so it's not entirely a brick. But yeah, I'd rather not see this card, to be honest with you. But and you only really need 2 for what it does anyway. 3 Jet Synchro, probably the most absurd card in the format as of recently. Being able to start off your entire link combo with 1 card, your synchro combo with 1 card, is pretty insane, and the end result is actually pretty absurd. So, 2 Effectular, because Effectular is just as good as Gamma, even though Gamma doesn't really, or even though Vela doesn't destroy. Negating monster effects is pretty good. You kind of want to have that sort of versatility in your hand traps like that. You could play Ghost Ogre. Ghost Ogre is also another good option here. I have Ghost Ogres in the side deck, so I figured Veiler is good in certain scenarios. 3, Magician Souls. The thing about the Dogmatika cards is that they're spellcasters, so you can use Magician Souls, get a free extender. That's pretty good. Nadir's Servant. This card is actually really insane. You send an extra monster to the graveyard, and then they add a Dogmatika card or Fallen of Albaz, but we're not playing that card because that card's not that great. And then equal to the equal or less than the attack of the monster you sent. So if you send like Ashen Dragon here, which we're going to talk about in a minute, you just search basically any Dogmatika card in your entire deck. You're playing also App Cologne, so you can search pretty much anything you want. So it's not that it's really versatile here. I like it quite a bit. Eldlich, the Black Awakening. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I have not opened this card a lot to thoroughly be convinced by its abilities. On paper, it's a very fantastic card, but as far as general use is concerned, I have not seen it be that good. Mostly because I haven't drawn it. 3 tuning, because this card's insane. This card probably will go to 1 at some point. I think having the ability to just add Synchron tuner monsters from your deck and then sending the top card is kind of insane. Even if you like get rid of a hand trap, a mill of a hand trap is not that big of a deal. You make your deck actually a little bit more consistent in that regard. This card's also not a hard once per turn, so if you open with 2, you could just summon 2. You could just add 2 junk synchrons or jet synchrons, excuse me, and then just like discard 1 and then summon the other one later when you need to. It's kind of dumb. So 3 Cursed Eldlich, because this card searches everything in your deck, searches all your Eldritch cards. So you kind of want to play this card. Also, if it's sent to the graveyard, you just set a free Eldritch card. It's really good. The only downside is that you can only attack with zombies, but that's fine. You can work a way around that by summoning Eldritch, because Eldritch pops your own spell cards for it. So on to the traps. 2 permanents. The permanence is pretty self-explanatory. Don't really need to explain much about this card. Effect negation, especially from the hand, is really good. Eldritch is Singwing. You're playing 2 of each of the trap. You're not playing the counter trap, because the counter trap is not necessary. But sometimes these cards are just added extenders. They're also added disruption to your opponent's plays. Especially Hakwero is actually a pretty good card. It's actually kind of like a DD Crow. You summon it, and then you get to banish a card from your opponent from a graveyard. So it's pretty good. Dogmatika Punishment. This card basically just pops cards. Do note that it does lock you out of the extra deck during the entire turn, so your opponent's turn and your turn. So do keep that in mind if you decide to go with that route. It's fairly good though. It's not bad whatsoever. I like it. It's searchable and it's pretty good. Shadal Schism. Pretty good card. Like I said, I'm trying some things out here. I'm not really sold on this yet, but I think Schism is actually pretty good. It gives you the chance to summon window on your opponent's turn if you need to, if you have access to it, and all that sort of thing. So yeah, on to the extra deck. The fusion monsters that you don't ever really summon, that you're really just here to get rid of, is Ashen Dragon, Ash Dragon, El Shadal Alp Cologne, El Shadal Winda, and 1 Nentence. This card searches any Dogmatika during the end phase if it was sent there this turn. El Shadal Alp Cologne is there just to get your Schism. Winda is here because Winda is really good. Entis, well, I mean, Wind is the only card you actually summon as a fusion monster, but Entis is here to stop the pop your opponent's cards. So that's pretty good. The Synchros, we got Chaos Ruler, the Chaotic Magic Dragon. Basically just lets you excavate cards and then search pretty much any light and dark that you see on the top of your deck. So yeah, Borla Savage Dragon, pretty good negate card. Herald of Arclight, pretty insane. I'm actually really surprised this card hasn't been broken into before because it seems like it'd be really good. But, you know, it is what it is. I think it's pretty cool. Metal Marcher. Metal Marcher is pretty good. It's a key essential to your combo. One Axis Talker, another way to win the game if I do say so. One Aurora Darn, just key combo piece in your thing. It helps you end on Savage Dragon. So, 2 Neil Halkafibrex. People are playing Barricade War Blocker, and that one isn't wrong either. I just like this ratio better. It's about the personal preference, to be perfectly honest with you. They both do relatively the same thing. So, IP Masquerena, you know, because you might want some more disruption. Link Cross, absolutely absurd card. I haven't been playing the game for a while, pretty much since COVID started, and coming back, this is nuts. This card's actually insane. Don't know why they printed this card. This card's 100% busted. This and Halkafibrex are probably in the running to get banned / limited. This card is super dumb. Link Reba, everyone's favorite Link monster. Pretty good card. I like it a lot. You know, it is what it is. You kind of need to play it for your beginning combos. So, next to the side deck, we have 2 Nibiru. I think Nibiru is a little bit underrated these days, but I can understand why people are cutting it. I think Nibiru, for the thing about this deck is that it's completely not immune to Nibiru, but you can work around it. If you open a Deer Servant, you can pretty much end on pretty much the same board. But having the ability to stop your opponent from doing certain things is also good against other decks. Like, I guess it's good against it's kind of good against the Infernoble Knights, because they don't really run negates beyond after their 5th summon. But I think it's a little underrated. Ghost Ogre, having the ability to disrupt your opponent at any point with effects is really good right now. Lightning Storm. Yes, I know, a little bit of expensive card, but again, if you're playing on platforms, if you're playing on virtual platforms, it shouldn't matter. It's really good. Forbidden Droplets, this card's actually pretty insane. Reading the effect, it's kind of nuts. It's better than Dark Ruler No More. It doesn't lock you out of attacking, and it makes your opponent's monsters weaker, so you can kill them easier. So it's pretty insane. 3 Evenly Matched, just for going second specifically. So it is pretty cool. And 1 Red Reboot. I figured that this was, I just picked cards that are just generally good. So I figured Red Reboot would be the good way to tie the rest of this deck off. I didn't want to play 3 Nibiru because that seemed like to be a little too much. So yeah, as far as tests or test hands and combos are concerned, I'm actually going to show you the probably the more popular one, or probably the easiest one to understand. You can go about it any way you want. So let's just jump right into the test hand here. This isn't the hand that I'm wanting, so we're going to restart until we get it. You can do stuff with this hand. This hand's actually not bad, but this kind of accomplishes what I wanted. Yeah, we're going to run with this one. So basically, it goes like this. You kind of just normal summon Jet Synchron. We have 2 cards that we don't really care about. Send that. Special Link Rebo. We're actually going to activate the tuning, so we can get that possible good card in our thing. Okay, that's fine. Jet Synchron. We're going to discard the other Jet Synchron in our deck. Or in our hand, excuse me. Then we're going to make Halkafibrex. Halkafibrex will make... or we'll summon Oline. Link off Halkafibrex into Link Cross. Link Cross will activate its effect. This one actually might be a little better because we can add another disruption to our board. Do that, and then we summon the Metal Marcher. We're not activating the effect. I watched the tutorial from top tier Yu-Gi-Oh, I guess is his name, and he said to not do this for some reason. I didn't really like listen all that much. I was just there for some specific combos, but just a general idea of the deck. Okay, so we got that done. Next, we make the Herald of Arclight. We're not immune to Nibiru, but you know it is what it is. Make the other Halki Fibrex, activate the Olion, no, special summon, I believe we make Aurorodon, and this is where we're done link summoning. We don't really make anything else after that, and we can technically actually have another disruption in terms of Link Karibo, but you don't want Link Karibo on the board. Next we're going to special summon by attributing this and this. No, we're not going to negate that. Special summon the other Lion, and then we're going to make our second Omni Negate with our tokens. We're going to equip the Aurorodon to Savage Dragon. We actually open up a pretty nice hand here. I kind of want to keep the Impermanence, but you can go with different routes with this. We're going to have to discard this for the Eldlich stuff, but we don't have to, or for the Shaddoll combo. I don't think we actually have to though. I think if we're going second, it really depends on what you're doing. If you're going second, you probably don't need to worry about Shaddoll. If you're going second, just send the Entis. We're going to send Ash Dragon for this combo, though, because I kind of want to involve the Eldlich side a bit more. Oh, no, that's right. That's right. We don't need to. We don't need to do anything like that. We just add Fleur-de-Lis, because I was thinking Nadir for some reason. Then we activate Ashland. Or not Ashland, Elland. And then we add our other disruption. We could add the Golden Lord. I don't think there's a reason to do that right now. So we're just going to add Hankero. In turn 1, it might actually matter a little bit. You might want to summon Eldlich. But the end board is kind of like this. We end up with 2 Omni Negates. A nice monster negate. We ended up with an Impermanence, which we're going to set. We ended up with a Permanence, which isn't always here. We also ended up with another disruption for our opponent's graveyard, so it's a pretty good board, I think. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a comment in the comment section down below. Tell me what you guys think about this deck. Tell me what I kind of want suggestions. I want to see what you guys can come up with. Tell me if I should take things out, if I should play some things differently. I'll definitely I'm definitely open to a lot of criticism and feedback for this particular build, because I'm still just kind of playing with it, because it's just a fun deck. So yeah, this has been All Things Entertaining, signing out.